Welcome to Big Progress, and today we're going to tell you about all harms and benefits of persimmon. Persimmon is a pulpy and sweet orange-colored berry with a thin skin. From Latin, its name is translated as heart apple, and from Greek as divine flame. History of persimmon. The plant is widely spread in tropical and temperate climatic zones. Its origin is in China, but now persimmon is grown even in Crimea. There are several hundred varieties of this plant all over the world. Some of these trees live up to 500 years old. Usefulness of persimmon. Persimmon contains many vitamins like A, C, and B, and microelements as iodine, ferum, calcium, potassium, phosphorus, manganese, and magnesium. Persimmon is good for the prevention of vitamin or ferum deficiencies and scurvy. High content of iodine reduces the risk of thyroid diseases. The acid content in the berries is low, which is good for the operation of the gastrointestinal tract in case of ulcers or liver and kidney diseases. Antibacterial properties help the body resist the pathological intestinal flora. Persimmon is good for heart. It helps with vascular diseases and reduces the risk of atherosclerosis. The diuretic effect of the berry helps remove the swellings caused by poor functioning of the heart. Persimmon is recommended as a restoration mean for the nervous system and for general healing of the human body. The berry contains tons of vitamins. Harms of persimmon. People with certain diseases should not eat persimmon. This is what a dietary specialist have said. Persimmon is 25% sucrose, so it shouldn't be eaten by people with diabetes or pancreas problems. The tannins that give this berry the astringent taste can be dangerous. Most of them are in the skin, so it's better to remove it. Tannins can interfere with the digestive process as they form a sticky substance by gluing pieces of food together. That's why persimmons should not be given to kids under the age of 3. Be careful about eating this berry if you suffer from constipation or hemorrhoids. If you eat too much persimmon, it may cause diarrhea and vomiting. Medicinal application of persimmon. Persimmon is often used in cosmetology. High concentrations of retinol and C and R vitamins help improve the eyesight, rejuvenate the skin, and loosen the wrinkles. Freshly crushed berries may be applied to the face and the scalp. In dietetics, persimmon is considered a source of sucrose and a replacement for fast carbs. Persimmon is a good replacement for sweets. However, the amount of the berries you eat should also be limited. Fresh berries are lower in calories than dried ones. The nutritional value of fresh persimmons is 55 kilocalories per 100 grams. The berry does not contain fats and cholesterol. Iodine reduces the risk of thyroid diseases, and persimmon contains a high concentration of iodine. To meet the body's need for iodine, it's enough to eat just 2 fruits per day. Persimmon has diuretic properties, which reduce the risk of kidney stone disease. The berry is also useful in case of constipation. However, it should be eaten with caution, so as not to cause some unnecessary side effects. Persimmons contain large amounts of water and fiber, which have a slight laxative effect. 10 useful properties of persimmons. 1. Prevents cancer. Persimmon, along with pumpkin, marigold, sea buckthorn, apricot, and other yellow and orange fruits, delays the growth of age-related neoplasms. Due to its bright orange color, persimmons contain a high percentage of beta-carotene, which is a very powerful antioxidant substance, resisting free radicals that destroy cellular structures. So the berries reduce the evidence of aging on the skin. We should emphasize that there is more beta-carotene in persimmons than in tomatoes, pumpkin, or bell peppers. 2. Prevents kidney stones. The magnesium contained in persimmons reduces the risk of kidney stones, since it helps remove sodium salts from the body. Remember that the fruit has diuretic and tonic properties. 3. Helps with heart diseases. Persimmon is especially useful for those who suffer from heart diseases because it contains a lot of potassium. It may even substitute the pills. Eat 2 to 3 persimmons daily, and you will forget about your heartache. According to Scottish scientists, persimmon prevents atherosclerosis even better than apples. 4. Good for blood vessels. Persimmon is rich in vitamins C and P, so it has a beneficial effect on blood vessels, reducing their fragility and permeability. Doctors recommend eating this fruit to those who suffer from varicose veins or bleeding gums. 5. Prevents staphylococcus. The berry has an antibacterial effect against coli bacillus, hay bacillus, and staphylococcus. 6. Helps with diarrhea. Persimmon juice helps relieve chronic diarrhea. Cut 6 ripe berries into pieces, add 3 glasses of boiling water, cover it with a lid, and brew for 20 minutes. Then strain the liquid and drink half a liter every 4 hours. 7. treats hypertension and edema. In case of hypertension or edema, wash some persimmon leaves, dry them, then grind them into powder and take 1/4 of tablespoon 2 times a day after meals for 5 to 7 days. 8. Treats anemia. Persimmon is rich in ferum, so its juice is recommended to drink 2 times a day for treating anemia. 50 to 100 milliliters before meals will be enough. In addition, it stabilizes the nervous system and increases the general efficiency. 9. Stops coughs. Gargling with juice of a ripe persimmon mixed with 3½ tablespoons of warm water may help with cough. 10. Facial masks. A mask made of persimmon pulp and egg yolk is a great remedy for enlarged pores and a tendency to acne. Moreover, persimmon perfectly tones and refreshes the skin, removing the signs of aging. To make a mask, grind the persimmon on a grater and mix the gruel with cream or yolk in 1:1 ratio. Apply it for 15 to 20 minutes. Then remove the mask with a warm damp swab and wash the face with cold water. Repeat this 15 to 20 times. Due to the high content of sugars, persimmon is not recommended for patients with obesity and diabetes. In addition, experts warn that for some people this oriental fruit can be dangerous. Eating too much unripe persimmon can lead to intestinal obstruction. By the way, why is persimmon so astringent? The reason of the astringent taste of this exotic berry is a high content of tannins in the fruit during ripening. This substance disappears as soon as the fruit ripens completely. Orange color and brownish leaves indicate the fact that the persimmon is ripe. Full-grown fruits are quite soft, and if black dots and spots appear on a fruit, it means that it's already begun to spoil. Persimmons must be stored with care. No physical damage should be done to the surface of the berry. Hypothermia is also harmful for unripe fruits. Ripe persimmons or their pulp can be stored in the fridge for several days or can be frozen for future use. The storing period of frozen persimmon is 6 months. The use of persimmon in cooking. Persimmon is widely used in cooking salads, drinks, meat dishes and desserts like puddings, jellies and jam. Usually it's eaten fresh, but sometimes it's also dried and used for producing candied fruit. Despite its sweetness, persimmon combines well with salted foods and meat. Here's a salad that will be perfect for lunch or dinner. You will need 2 berries of persimmon, 1 bulb of red onion, 200 grams of turkey breast, 1 bunch of lettuce, 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seeds, 1 teaspoon of seasoning, like paprika, black pepper and others. Boil the turkey in salted water, cool and slice it, then sprinkle it with the seasonings. Cut the onions into semi-rings, then cut persimmon into pieces. Tear lettuce by hand, pour some olive oil and add salt if necessary. Finally, sprinkle the dish with pumpkin seeds. You can also make desserts from persimmon. This drink, for example, is an actual vitamin cocktail. Here's what you will need: 2 berries of persimmon, 2 apples, a small piece of ginger, and 150 milliliters of water. Remove the skin from all the fruit, take away the seeds, and then cut the fruit into cubes. Clean and grate the ginger. Put all the ingredients inside a blender and whip. Choosing and storing persimmon. The season of fresh persimmon starts in September and ends in December. While choosing the berries, pay attention to how they look. If a persimmon is pale and has green leaves on the top, then this berry is unripe and it will taste too astringent. To ripen, it needs to be stored at room temperature for several days. If the berries are too soft and have brown spots, it means that they were frozen or damaged during the transportation and so began to spoil. Ripe persimmon needs to be stored in the fridge for not more than a few months. For long-term storage, the fruit should be frozen or sliced into pieces. At low temperatures, persimmon retains its properties for 6 months. Dried persimmons should be stored in glass jars in a cool place.